What is up, everybody? Welcome back to DCTV, episode 3 of live streams. How are we doing tonight? The stream should be starting here. Let's check it out. What is up, everybody? Welcome back. All right, we are back in here. How's everyone doing tonight? It is a late one. Probably won't be doing anything too long today, but decided to hop in and just say what's up to you guys tonight. How is everybody doing tonight? I am using a new software. Happy Father's Day, Adrian. We are back again, says DMC Beats. Yes, we are. Shout out to DMC Beats. If you want to know who makes those fire beats on my YouTube in the background, it is that guy right there. Next up, we have Adrian saying Happy Father's Day, y'all. You too, man. I hope everybody had a great Father's Day and just a really good weekend, as it's about to be Monday in a few hours. So hopefully everyone was safe, had a good time, get to spend time with family, and probably eat some good food. Camera angle is better. That is because I am on my laptop. Instead of my computer is right here. So it's like angled this way. We're on my laptop, and it's just on my desk. So it's just a straight view. But the angle and the 720 will be 1080 soon because I am, like I said, I'm filming on my laptop. But Zabufu actually helped me hook up, like find what cords I need. So probably in a week or so, I'm going to have it where instead of my camera being my laptop, it's going to be my actual Canon camera. So it'll be 1080. You'll get my whole setup view like you guys see on my actual videos on YouTube and all that good stuff. So that'll probably be in a few weeks because I'm about to go on vacation for 3 weeks. I'll probably just live stream off the laptop, but when I get back, I will set it up with my buddy Zabumafu, and we'll get it figured out just to give you guys the best quality here on DCTV. Quality infotainment. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the stream. How is everybody doing? Welcome back. And if you're new to the stream, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like. DCTV's growing, and we grew a lot today. I want to give a huge shout out to everyone who supported today's video because that video is doing really well today. So shout out to everybody doing that. Bold Paul, you said, what are you watching? I'm not sure. I'm not watching nothing. If you heard something in the background, that was me watching my stream on my computer, just making sure everything was right, audio and all that good stuff. And looks pretty good. If I can turn it this way a little bit. There we go. Go a little bit more. There we go. It looks a little better. All right. Well, usually how we start off these streams is just a Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and get a social media shout out so we can get more people in here. And then if you guys have any questions, anything about NFL sports, especially Bengals or Cincinnati news, go ahead and drop them right now and I'll start answering them. If you haven't been in the DCTV stream, that's usually what we start off by doing. Just, get everybody knowing each other and, doing what we do, and that's talk football and talk Bengals. So I'm going to go ahead and do a shout out. All right, everybody. I am streaming live on YouTube right now with already a good amount of people. Make sure you go ahead and slide up, click that link, and join the stream. Say what's up and ask some questions. All right. Let me post this real quick, guys. Someone go ahead and hit me with the question to get us started with. If DMC or Zabumafu, if you guys want to start it off, that'd be fantastic. I appreciate it. You said, all right, for some reason, I was getting a Geico ad and the video was playing. By the way, the screen is black. Is that for everybody? Is the screen black for everybody? Because I'm watching off my computer and it looks fine to me. Can we get a confirm if it's black or not, please? DMC. How is everybody doing? Let me go ahead. I'm going on my social media. I'm trying to get more people in here. So give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. What's the best Gatorade? you guys go ahead and tell me what you think. But for me, Glacier Ice, but you got to get the 0 calories because Gatorade actually has a decent amount of calories. So this is it right here. I actually got 2 so my voice isn't too crispy. But if you drink Gatorade, you got to have a water with you too. And support the Reds. Just like that. My boy Adrian said, I can see fine. Okay, good. I just want to make sure. Yeah, mine looks fine on my computer. I just want to make sure. Anthony, all right, let's chill, buddy. Thank you. Amazing. All right, let's keep it sports related, please. But thank you, Anthony. Oh, my bad. Thank you, buddy. I love you too, bud. All right. I had to refresh. I don't know what was going on. Okay, man. Looks like we're all good. We're getting a decent amount of people. I haven't even put it on my social media yet, so I keep getting distracted. But I'm gonna try to do that real quick. How's the audio sign? I got it on my Snowball right now, so it should sound better than the last stream. Last stream was just straight off the Mac too, so audio should sound a little bit better. All right. Well, if somebody can start it off with some more questions, please, that'd be great. Just a good icebreaker. Get into some Bengals news. And if you are ready for tomorrow's video, it's not tomorrow because tomorrow's supposed to be Monday. Tuesday's video at noon. I'm about to film and edit tomorrow. I already have my script ready and everything. It's going to be about Tyler Boyd. That's all I can say. You guys, I'll probably premiere it tomorrow night. Well, not premiere it live, but have it premiered so you can see the thumbnail and everything. But I'll just give you guys a hint. It's going to be about Tyler Boyd. It is a great video. But yeah, I mean, if you guys watched Saturday's video, it is doing really well. I really appreciate all the support, and it has brought in a lot of people to subscribe. Usually my videos do pretty decently with views and likes ratio, but it brought in a lot of subscribers, and we're almost 100 subs away from 1,000. So I really appreciate that, guys. All right. So my boy Anthony Witschey said, what do you think about the Buccaneers this year, and how do you think the Patriots are going to do by losing Tommy Boy? Great question, Anthony. Honestly, that's a lot to cover. So I'm going to start off with the first part. How do you think the Buccaneers will do this year? Well, let's look at the Buccaneers division. You know, if we look at the Buccaneers division, let me pull it up. So it's the NFC South. So you got the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Saints, and now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which is a good team. That is a stacked division. So there's going to be a lot of competitive play. Division games are really going to count. If the Buccaneers can at least split with the Saints, hopefully sweep the Falcons, and then they should sweep the Panthers, but Panthers are a tough play to play at home. So if they can do good in division play, you know, Tom Brady and Drew Brees is going to be a matchup to watch at least twice a year, probably 3 times in the playoffs. You'll see it one more time. But it's going to be fun to watch. I honestly think they can beat the Saints with Tom Brady. Tom Brady wants to prove that he can win one by himself to prove that he didn't, the Patriots didn't grow Tommy Boy. He can do it himself. I think they're going to get to the playoffs. I think they're going to beat the Saints. I don't know about a Super Bowl and all that, but I do see the Buccaneers doing well. They got a lot of weapons in that offense. Gronk is coming back. There's just going to be kind of like the Bengals. We have a really good culture going on right now that everyone's pumped up for. And that's how Tampa Bay is with getting the GOAT, Tom Brady. And then answering the second part of that question about the Patriots, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting one. Their defense is still fantastic. I believe they lost a few people, but don't get me wrong. That defense is still nasty. I still expect that defense to be top 5, top 10 in the NFL. I mean, I think some people consider them top 3, if not the best defense in the NFL last year for most of the weeks, for like the first 10 weeks in the league, well, for the start of the league. But that offense, man, Stidham is going to be a big question mark at quarterback. Honestly, I think the defense can go only so long before the offense crumbles under pressure. So it's going to be a fun one to watch. Bold Paul said, I like your hat. Thank you. This was actually my dad's a long time ago. It's Reebok. So that's how old it is. It was way before Nike. So it's an old hat. But, I mean, it's a nice hat. I like it a lot. Like, look at the logo. mean, it's old, so. We got a good question, Mr. Whisper. Thank you for coming back to tonight's stream. Really appreciate you dropping in on all 3 streams. He said, "Do you trust our coaching staff, or is there one you're undecided about? Head coach, offense coach, defensive coach, etc." Another compact question. Thank you for that. Well, it's a good question because I do trust Zach Taylor. He's the second youngest coach in the entire NFL. And I believe the Bengals did that for a reason. You know, when you have someone like Marvin Lewis for so long, all these teams started to look for coaches who are young, you know, offensive guy, the Stefanskis and the Sean Vays of the league. Those are kind of the coaches taking over in the modern NFL. And Zach Taylor is that fit perfectly. So yeah, he had a hard first year in his career, but I totally have so much trust in him and belief that, you know, he's going to be able to put together a solid season. And I think the rest of the coordinators fall in line under him. Only time can tell how they fit and how everything goes, but I do think that you know, they're going to piece together a pretty decent season. At least let's hope. But yeah, Zach Taylor has my trust. So we got Bob K saying, "Who do you think wins the AFC North division? I'm most certain my Ravens will win it, while Pittsburgh's getting a wild card." Yeah, dude, AFC North is probably one of the best divisions to watch this year. Even if you're not a fan of one of the teams, or even if you are, man, it's going to be exciting. Like, I'm going to be excited to watch Ravens, Browns, Steelers games. Like, it's going to be a really important. And the reason why it's so hard to give predictions about the division right now is because, dude, those division games are going to it's going to be like the first division game to the last division game is going to count so much this year because how much talent are on all 4 of these teams. I do think the Ravens have the best chance to go to the Super Bowl. Honestly, I mean, you got Lamar, you know, a lot of MVPs, they might not have the best second season, you know, after that MVP season, but we will see if he can stay pretty accurate. We all know what he can do on the feet and how deadly that is, but, you know, if he stays pretty accurate with all the weapons he has around him and that great defense, the Ravens should probably the greatest chance. Pittsburgh's interesting. I don't know, man. Big Ben after that injury coming back, and obviously their defense is good. Not going to discredit the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I don't know. As a Bengals fans, I don't want to say the Steelers have a greater chance than Cincinnati. You know what I mean? But yeah, they're going to have a decent chance as well. And then the Browns, I don't see it. People gave them excuse last year saying, "Oh, it was their first year. It was coaching." Yeah, whatever. But you have so much talent that doesn't even really matter. So, and they have just as much talent this year with another new coach. Kevin Stefanski is really great, came from the Minnesota Fighting Vikings, but I don't know if they're going to get together. You need more than just talent to win on a team, and you need team chemistry. I don't think they got it. My boy Erik Wright said Brady to the ball. Hey, man, it is a possibility. I'm not going to say that. The Buccaneers have a great shot at it. They got a young and hungry defense filled with guys who are going to go after the quarterback, and an offense that just has so many weapons. So it's going to be fun to watch. Hold on, guys. Before I get to this next question, I'm going to post on my Instagram to get everybody in here or get some more people in here. If you guys don't already follow me on my social media, right here are all my links, or you can check in the description below, Drew_Collins11 on Instagram and Twitter. It is always right there if you ever need it, or you can go down below in the description on me. That's probably the best way to get in contact with me if you ever want to have a video idea you want to see or any questions besides YouTube. I'm going to do an Instagram post real quick, guys, and then I'm going to keep answering you guys. What is up, Instagram? I am live right now on YouTube answering questions. Q&A, any questions about football and Cincinnati, come say what's up. All right. So my boy Adrian said, "What Bengals rookies do you think can make the biggest impact on the team?" Obviously disregarding Burrow. Yeah. I mean, you got to put Burrow to the side. I'm really excited for Logan Wilson. I think he can really step up and be a game changer on that defense. I want to say T. Higgins, but T. Higgins has Tyler Boyd, AJ Green, Auden Tate, and John Ross to go up against. That's a lot of competition. Where Logan Wilson, he's thrown into a linebacker crew. Where honestly, I believe he can be a day one starter. Some people might disagree with me on that, but I mean, if not a day one starter, getting a lot of playing time, being a third down guy, going in there whenever somebody's getting fatigue. I think Logan Wilson can definitely make the most impact besides Burrow. And, I want to say T. Higgins, but T. Higgins has some competition on that receiving group. And, we'll have to see in training season and then preseason to see if he battles it out, if he can win that slot spot. Erik Wright is touching on a topic that is a tough one. How do you feel about the Corona stuff? Do you think the season will happen? Yeah. Look, like, what's that one doctor who is the one, like the main one who's like with Trump and like says all this stuff? Look, he's going to say what he's going to say, but the NFL at the end of the day is going to do what they're going to do. The NFL makes billions of dollars in every year, and they're going to do what they want. And the NFL has their own doctors, where I believe one of them has already came out and said, yeah, I appreciate your comment, but the NFL is still going to happen, and we're going to do what we want to do. So, yes, I do think it's going to happen. I mean, dude, if they're trying to bring the NBA back, the NFL is happening. Like, do you know who runs this league? Do you know how much money they'd lose out on? Now, if the league's going to, if the season's going to happen, is totally different than if there's going to be fans at the stadium. I do think the season's going to happen, but I do not know if there are going to be fans in the stadiums. I honestly hope they are, even if it's like you have to space out. I don't know how that would work with like families and stuff, but I do think it'll happen. But that's going to be interesting. And they're kind of playing around with the sound. Like if they said if there's no fans, they're going to do like sound effects throughout the stadium. I don't know how that would work. Great question, Eric. Bob K said Browns and Bengals could possibly have a good chance to make the playoffs too. Dude, that's the thing about this division. Every single one of these four teams has a good chance of making the playoffs. Now, I do think Ravens have the best chance, but all four teams have, at least can compete. The Bengals might not make the playoffs, but they can definitely compete to 5 to 8 wins easy. But they're going to have to win those division games for sure. At least the home games. Bengals usually do pretty well at home in previous seasons besides last season. We'll have to see if they can bring that this year. And obviously, I hope they do because, that's going to be a big part. But obviously, how are home games going to work if there's no fans? Like, is it, going to be like, usually when it's a home game, it's like, oh, they have a big chance of winning because it's a home game. You think of Seattle, Dallas, Green Bay, places like that. The chances of them losing at home are like very slim. But if there's no fans, is that going to change? I don't know. We'll have to see. So, great question. Okay, here's a good one. Thiltvid said, how good will Burrow be in fantasy? Honestly, man, that's such a tough question. It depends if you want any other Bengals players. I wouldn't get Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon or Joe Burrow and AJ or, like multiple players on one team. If you want to just stick with Joe Burrow, it also depends how early people are taking him. I haven't looked at a lot of fantasy lately, so I don't know where they're usually taking him. I wouldn't take him first, but let me rephrase. In some of my, like if it's just like friends, I probably would, but if I'm putting money down the league, I probably wouldn't. I think if it's pretty late and you already have a good receiving group and running back and maybe money, maybe not, I would probably roll the dice on them just because the Bengals can definitely – I think Zach Taylor is going to have a pretty pass-heavy offense this season, only if the offensive line holds up. If the O-line is holding up, they should have a pretty heavy pass offense. At least maybe not this year, but that's what Zach Taylor is definitely going to be working towards. And I believe that's a big reason why Joe Mixon hasn't been paid yet, is because is he really going to get the heavy load? I don't know. Is he going to be someone like Dalvin Cook who's going to get 30 carries a game plus? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so that's a good question. Do you actually think they're making some type of helmets with the mask? I saw that. No, I don't think so. The Bengals already are in so much drama with CTE and creating these new helmets each and every year. They're not going to want to make something like this because what if a player gets hit hard in that mask area? Like what if it's really hard to hit someone in the head? Boom, that's lawsuits on lawsuits. I do not think the Bengals or the NFL wants to change anything with the helmets. They are under way too much peer pressure already. Who will make the first Super Bowl, Vikings or Bengals? I don't know. We'll have to see how the Bengals do this season. The Vikings definitely have the talent on the team, but they just can't piece together. I mean, they've won some big games. They beat the Saints last year and almost got there, but then that smacked by the 49ers. And then you take it a few years previously, they did the same thing, got all the way to the playoffs, won a game, and then played the Eagles and got smacked by the Eagles. So can Kirk Cousins take him to the Super Bowl? Possibly, but the NFC is pretty nice. I don't know. It honestly, I see Burrow getting a ring over Cousins. I'll answer it like that. I like Kirk Cousins. He is a top 10 quarterback in the league, maybe top 15, 10. I would say that. But I see Burrow getting a Super Bowl before Kirk Cousins, if Kirk Cousins were able to get one. Now, if the Vikings were after the 4-year contract Cousins gets up, they get another good rookie or a good veteran, we'll talk. I don't know if Cousins is the guy. Adrian said favorite offensive player and defensive player on the team. Well, I mean, I want to say Joe Burrow, even though he hasn't taken a single snap yet. But besides Burrow, I would probably say, I mean, AJ. I've always loved AJ. I mean, come on, if you're a Bengals fan, the dude's a beast. You can't lie. Out of Georgia, come on now. He just mosses people. But recently, probably Joe Mixon, because like last year, I wasn't looking forward to watch Andy Dalton. AJ was hurt. There wasn't much going on, so I loved watching Joe Mixon run the ball pretty hard down the field. Defense, probably, I don't know, Dunlap, when you go to the games, like if you've gone to a Bengals game, Dunlap just runs the energy on that team. He's always hyping the crowd, getting everybody on their feet and just, trying to have a lot of energy. And he plays with a lot of energy. Might not be the most talent, but man, does he work his ass off. And then Geno Atkins. But if we're talking about who I think I'll be most excited for this year, I think Von Bell, because Von Bell is a huge playmaker, and I expect him to make some big hits this year and possibly some interceptions. So I believe Von Bell could lead the team in turnovers this year. I mean, Jesse Bates is fun to watch, and he's a fantastic safety who's only 23, 24 years old, and I believe he'll have a Pro Bowl before he's 26. But, I think Von Bell is really going to be a turnover machine this year. Great questions, guys. I really appreciate everything so far. If you haven't already, go ahead and leave a like on the stream and subscribe to DCTV. We are almost 100 subs away from 1K. Hashtag road to 1K, baby. We'll get there. But yeah, go ahead and keep hitting me with some questions, guys. I want to give a huge shout out to FTFN. I recently joined the Fan to Fan Network. I'll be doing a video on that quite soon. Basically, I am the Bengals ambassador and all Cincinnati sports news guy. The website will be dropping July 4th. Basically, in Fan to Fan Network, there is 32 YouTubers and content creators, and there's going to be a website with all 32 teams. So there's a Cincinnati guy, there's a New England guy, there is a bunch of every single organization has a YouTuber, and on the website, it's going to be a website, and it's going to be Bengals, and that whole page is just going to be my content. I'm going to write stuff. I'm going to have videos. It's going to be huge. And then there's also going to be Twitch. There's going to be a Twitch, I believe, in July or August, where we're going to be going head-to-head analysis. So, for example, let's say the Bengals play the Chargers. It's going to be on Twitch live, me and the Chargers guy going head-to-head, talking about the preview, talking about past matchups and everything that could go into the game changer. So if you haven't already, please go down below in the description and follow FTFN on Twitch. It's going to be huge, and it's going to help me grow, and that's a big part why I've been growing so fastly lately. It's because of the FTFN. Guys are giving me shout-outs. I've been doing shout-outs to them. We've done some collabs, so it's going to be a great thing. Adrian said, I am personally excited for Sam. Yeah, so who are your guys' favorite players? Who are you looking forward to watch this year? Sam Hubbard is, hometown guy, Ohio State grown. He's definitely one of the fan favorites. That's why I've been giving him some shout-outs in some of my videos. I honestly will probably plan on doing a sub Hubbard video. It's in my notes. Get ready for Sam Hubbard to blow up. And a big part of that, I will say, is because of the interior defensive line. You have, obviously, Geno Atkins and DJ Reader, who's going to be, when those guys are on the field, they're clocking up 2 or 3, at least 1 or 2 defensive linemen every snap. So the ends are going to most of the time have one-on-ones unless, the tight end pools or the running back pools. So I think Sam Hubbard could have a great year. And, yeah, he's a fun guy to watch. And how can you not cheer on a hometown guy? You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel this, Bob. I feel this. My boy Joey Ehlers, welcome to the stream. He said, yes, sir. How you doing, Joey? Miss you, buddy. We'll hang out soon. Thank you for all the support. Yeah, I agree with this big time here. Jesse Bates should improve. This is another guy I could probably do a video on before the season starts. Jesse Bates, I believe, is only 23, 24 years old. He probably, like I said, should see a Pro Bowl before he's 26 years old. The guy has a incredible bright future. And I think the things he needs to get better on or improve on or is consistency. I believe the guy has his highs and lows. He can get a turnover, get a big hit, really stop the receiver, get a knockdown. In the next drive, he gives up a pretty long play. But I mean, he's young, he's going to live, and he's going to learn. And that's what most of this Bengals defense is. They're all young and have plenty of room to live and learn. Do you have a plan for maybe post-game videos discussing previous week's games? Yes. So right now I'm doing Tuesdays and Saturdays at noon, but that will probably change once the season starts. So right now it's Tuesdays and Saturdays at noon, and then live streams just whenever I'm free. And then when the season starts, I'll probably change to Mondays or Sunday nights. I'm probably, if I get free time during the season, what I would like to do is either have a live stream Sunday night or post a video Sunday night. Even, let's say I keep my Tuesday and Saturday schedule, I would love to stream Sunday right after the game or like the end of the game. So you guys can all come in here. I mean, you got to think, DCTV, I've been doing this for 2.5 months, 3 months, and we're almost at going K. And when the season starts, instead of 15 viewers in this chat, which I love every single one of you, but it's going to be like up to 100 possibly, because it's just going to be Bengals fans looking for something to watch and to listen to after the rage of a heartbreaking loss or after the joy of a good win. So it's going to be fun to watch, and it's going to, yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. It's going to happen for sure. Roy said, talk about Drew Sample versus Uzomah. That's an interesting one, man. I mean, we're going to have to see in training camp and preseason what's going to happen. They both have their ups and downs. Are they around the same age? I think Uzomah is Uzomah the more all-around best player, I think. I could be wrong. I mean, what do you guys think? You guys think Drew Sample or Uzomah? I don't think either of them are superstars, but I think they both have upside and potential to become that. And obviously one of them could be, Joe Burrow's security blanket for short dump passes. Or obviously what I would like them to do is block. I believe we have the wide receiver talent. And with that being said, I would love our tight ends to, really be aggressive blockers. So I don't know. It's a good one. I mean, they're both young, aren't they? Drew Sample is 24 and CJ Uzomah's 27. So there's the age difference. I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, Drew Sample, 2019 had 5 receptions for 30 yards. So, I mean, the size, what we've seen of him so far has been little to nothing. And then if you go to CJ Uzomah, 6'6", big boy, he can probably block better. I don't know. We'll see. And then last year he had 27 receptions for 242 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know. I really don't like talking about the tight ends because I just feel like we have so much to talk about with receivers, but I appreciate the question, Roy. Who do you like better between Dalton or Palmer? I mean, honestly, I've been feeling some type of way about Palmer ever since he's came out and essentially disrespected the Cincinnati Bengals organization, saying everything about Joe Burrow and how if he comes to Cincinnati, he's going to essentially ruin his career. So because of everything he said, Andy Dalton, and obviously I watched more Andy Dalton. I can remember because I was a lot younger with Carson Palmer, but although right there, that is a signed Carson Palmer, like an autographed. Like I met him and got an autograph, but I mean, I'd rather have Joe Burrow's. But yeah, I don't like everything he said about Cincinnati. And I mean, you should feel some type of way too if you rep Cincinnati and you're from the city. It's not going to sit with you well. At least it doesn't me. Anyway, moving on. Adrian, thought on William Jackson III. Had a down year last year. Previously, in my opinion, was a top 10, top 15 corner, but not last year. Yeah, I mean, he had his up and downs last year. The thing you got to think, William Jackson, in my opinion, is not ready to be a number 1 cornerback, and that's what he was a year ago. And, he's going up against the best of the best in the league. And although I do think he is a great corner and has a bright future, I don't think he's ready to be a cornerback 1. I think this year, since we've got a lot more, we got Trey Waynes, Alexander McKenzie, Von Bell, we got all this new secondary. I believe he'll have a lot better of a season because he has a lot more supporting cast. And I mean, let's be honest, when your team has 1-2 wins on the entire season, not every player you're probably going to play 110%. But did you see the thing where he came out online and basically said that he did play injured? I don't know if you saw that, Adrian, but he did come out and say he did play injured, which I really I'm really happy that we have a player that wants to go out there and play injured or whatever just for the put his team. He loves the team. But come on, dude, we have 1 or 2 wins and we're getting the number 1 draft pick. Like, it's not going to hurt if you sit out a couple games. But yeah, I really like William. He has like this defense, he has a ton of upside, but we'll have to see, man. I just don't think he was ready to be a cornerback one. He kind of got thrown in there with all the Lions, and they ate him up for sure. Next question is from Aaron Smith. If Bates improves tackling, although he's a free safety, he'll be back-to-back to his rookie hype, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I think the reason why Bates had so many tackles because our linebacking crew was so, below par. And I think they're not going to be great this year, but I do see that they will improve as we've drafted 20 linebackers. So, like I said, Logan Wilson, Akeem Davis-Gathers, and all these guys are going to come in and make a statement. But I believe when they actually come and they start forming more tackles, we're not missing nearly as many tackles. Oh, my God, dude, that grinds my gears when there's 2 missed tackles, but then the safety's left up. So I feel like he won't have to get as many tackles in the future. At least I hope he won't. I mean, he's a safety. You don't want your safety to have a lot of tackles. But the fact that he can tackle is good because, there's going to be times where they break through the defensive line, linebacker crew, and then it's just one-on-one safety. So the fact that he learned early how to tackle, that's, really good. But obviously you don't want him to have a lot of tackles because that means something's not right. Who do you like better, Chad Johnson or AJ Green? That's the easy one, Chad Johnson. I love both. They both have done a lot to the city, but Chad Johnson, I mean, you let me know what you guys think, but for me, it's definitely Chad. For sure. Aaron then said, I'd take Uzama over Sample. Sample has not panned out as a second-round pick so far. Yeah, but it's early. It's early. If Sample can become a really good, offensive line blocker, like if he can really block some ends or some linebackers, I think he'll be really helpful. We don't need him to go out there and have a 1,000-yard season, a 10 touchdown season. We literally just need someone to go out there and block. I'm telling you guys, our receivers, we don't need a good defensive tackle. Yeah, Joey. Yeah. What's up, Drake? I just want to hop in and say hi. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stay too long. Hey, Drake, that's all right, man. I really appreciate you coming in. And if you guys want to be like Drake, added me on my social medias right up there. And we had some talks in the DMs about Bengals and some video ideas. So if you have any ideas, do what he did. Hit me up on social media. A real cool guy. It's all right, man. If you don't have too long to stay, it's all right. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't disagree on this one. What do you guys think? Connor Hagan said linebackers are still a need this year. Late round draft picks will not be an instant impact on the team. Unfortunately, we will not see a drastic improvement from the linebacker course here. Yeah, I never said it was going to be drastic, but I did say it's going to be an improvement, which it should be. Like just because they're not even first round. I think it's 3rd, 4th, and 7th, I believe. Let me check. It's mid to late draft picks. Now, I believe those guys do have a lot of talent. But just like a lot of young late-round picks, it's just raw talent. They need time. They need to play downs. They need to practice. And they need to see the schemes of the NFL. I mean, these guys aren't coming out of big colleges. They're coming out of Wyoming and all these schools where I'm almost positive how they play is not as competitive as the NFL level. So, yes, I do believe that is the harsh reality. And I feel like a lot of Bengals fans haven't faced that yet. But I totally agree, Connor. But I do think there will be an improvement. I really do. But I don't think we're going to have a top 10 linebacker crew at all. Maybe not top 15. And it sucks because our defensive line has so much talent, so many Pro Bowlers on it, and a lot of young guys who are learning from these Pro Bowlers. And because our linebacker crew, we don't know how that's going to handle. And then our secondary improved a ton. So our linebacker crew is definitely the weakest part of the defense. There's no if or buts. It definitely is. But we'll have to see what they can do and if they can prove themselves. All right. So what's the next question? Adrian said, do you think AJ will go back to his old self? Hard question because he hasn't played almost in 2 years, although he says nothing has changed in this game, I'm sure. I'm going to be honest, man. I have a definite, I think, a view on AJ Green than probably 90% of Bengals fans. And it's not a pretty one because AJ, he's done a lot for the city. He's gone out there and said many times he likes how Larry Fitzgerald approached the NFL, and that was by being a longtime player and being loyal to the team. He said he wants to retire in Cincinnati and be a longtime Bengal. And as much as I want that to happen, I don't know if it can because there's many reasons. So the Bengals have taken a turn this offseason and what they're going for. They're definitely going for the future. And I guess you could say they're going for the now, but it's definitely more towards the future. Let's be honest. And AJ Green won't be there in the future. AJ Green won't be the past AJ Green he was in the future. You know what I mean? His best seasons are behind him, and that is just the harsh, true fact. And that is okay because of the one reason, because we have so much wide receiver depth built behind him that it is okay for him not to get as many touchdowns, as many receiving yards. We expect Tyler Boyd to do just as much as AJ Green, if not more. He was wide receiver 1 last year and part of the year before. The guy has had back-to-back 1,000 receiving yard seasons, and you should expect him to get a heavy load. Now, he's probably still going to be, wide receiver 1. You have Tyler Boyd. T. Higgins, who is a copy and paste of A.J. Green, let me remind you, who literally looked up to A.J. Green, built his game around A.J. Green, and A.J. Green stated that his favorite player coming out of the draft was him. So, I mean, it's a perfect fit. We're going to copy and paste A.J. Green, obviously a different guy. I don't know. The reason why I'm questioning his future is because, yes, I want him on the team, but I want him on the team as the right price. At the end of the day, the NFL is it is a business. And obviously I am pro player, but for the same team, for my team, I obviously want it at the right price. I want AJ Green at a team friendly deal. And if it is not that, there's other options the Bengals can explore. And that is a whole video on itself that I don't even want to get into because I'm trying to get to 1K before I start building controversy in Cincinnati because, I know there's so many people who love AJ, and I do too. But I want to do what's right for the Bengals, not for AJ. Not trying to be, for myself or greedy, but is AJ greedy? I don't know. He's been a long-time Bengal. I would love to see his 18 retired, but do I think he'll be the same player? No. That is my answer. He will not be the same player. He will still be a heck of a player, but he will not be the same. He's gone through too many serious injuries and too much time off the field. He's only 31. I still think he's going to be very dominant. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not going to be good. He is going to be good. Will he be great? Probably, but will he be what he was before? No. I do believe his best seasons are behind him. I mean, if you look at it, Des Bryant's 31. Julio Jones is 31. But I don't know if those wide receiver cores, obviously Des Bryant, I'm talking about Julio, but that wide receiver core is not as nearly as competitive as the Bengals are this season. And a big reason why I do want him to stay because he is a huge security blanket for Joe Burrow. And not just that, he's going to help all these young wide receivers learn. He is he's probably the biggest veteran on the team besides Atkins. And you have to think T. Higgins is copy and paste, so you want him to learn from T. You want T to learn from him. And Alden Tate's 6'5", so he wants to learn from AJ. You got all these guys who, you want to learn from him, but, what's that price tag worth? Good question. All right, now I'm a little behind. Connor said, yep, agree the D-line was not the best last year due to injury-prone Carl Lawson. So Sam Hubbard's going to be an amazing year. Dunlap wasn't his best, neither was Atkins, but they are better in the game than paper. Yeah, and, defensive tackles don't show a lot on paper. DJ Reader is a heck of an accusation, but he only had 1 sack last season. But if you go and watch his tape, he stops the run game and he helps the ends get to the backfield because he's always on a double team because he's so big and powerful and such a defensive threat on that interior that it helps the ends. And now you have him and Adkins. And let's be honest, are they 110% every single play of a 2-win season? Most of the season was, 0-win season, 1-win season. Do you think they're going to do 125% every game? I mean, a lot of people said they started playing harder at the end of the year, but at the same time, you got to understand a lot of these players have bonuses, performance bonuses, and at the end of the year, You're either close to hitting it or not. So, and those bonuses can be up to over $1 million. Mr. Whisper said, excluding offensive line, what position do you predict that we may need to upgrade next year in the draft? Well, linebackers need to be addressed, but not in the draft. We got the future. We need a veteran linebacker either in a trade or in free agency. That needs to be addressed, but not through the draft. The draft, I wouldn't say safeties. I wouldn't say linebackers. It probably wouldn't hurt to get another defensive line guy for the future. It doesn't have to be first, second, or third, but probably get another defensive line guy. Another linebacker doesn't need to be top. Don't need a quarterback. Honestly, we didn't. I don't think we drafted a backup running back. I could be wrong, but another backup running back, because you always want a handful of running backs. But I mean, like, the biggest need, probably tight end. I would say offensive line, but you said excluding offensive line. Probably tight end or a cornerback. I mean, if we're sitting mid to early or mid to late first round pick, and there's like a really good cornerback, a playmaker, grab him if he's a playmaker. But if there's just a solid later in the draft, second, third round pick, tight end would be nice, and other positions like that. Okay, I need to hurry up. You guys are way ahead of me. Aaron Smith said, I already watching Davis Gathers in college. He has a lot of room to grow since he is so quick. And it's basically a safety that isn't afraid to make plays against the line of scrimmage. Yeah, that dude got wheels, and he's going to get to the backfield this year. He's going to get to a quarterback. Don't know how much playing time he'll get. Hopefully a good amount. But yeah, dude, that guy, the ceiling is just, dude, that guy has a lot of potential like the other linebackers. What price is too much to keep mixing? If you want to see a whole video on that, I already did a hashtag Pejo Mixin video already, and it's one of my best videos. I think it's over 1.5K on views, and the like ratio is insane. So go watch that. I basically broke it down to where I believe Joe Mixon is in the NFL and what was the price range he should be at. I got to write that down because I get that question every stream, and I forget what I said. But I said it in that video. So I don't know. I got to go check that out. But I believe I ranked him like 5 through 8 on the best running backs in the league. And then I went and I said, where are the number 5 through number 8 running backs paid? And then put a number. I know it was around 10. It was around 8 to 10, I think. Don't quote me on that. Do you watch the WNBA? Because I sure as hell don't. No, Bob, I haven't. I have not watched the WNBA. I don't know a single person who has. I'm not trying to be mean. No disrespect, but I really don't. Offense is going to be crazy. AJ, Mixon, Burrow, Gio, Boyd, Tate, Ross, T.O. Line is the weakness, but not bad. If injuries aren't as bad this year, I think an 8-9 win team. I don't know, man. 8 to 9 wins is a lot coming off a 2-win season. But I do believe 8 wins is possible. But that O-line's going to have to hold up. Tons of Bengals fans are like, yeah, man, it's not bad, but, it's not good. And, yeah, that's true. But we got to see, Jonah Williams coming off, missing the whole last season. He was a first-round pick. That's going to be a huge guy to get back. But how good is he going to be? We need him to step up big time. Yeah, I probably wouldn't go safety, but probably cornerback. I agree. And not linebacker because we have so many. Next year they take linebacker and secondary, mainly cornerback. Yeah, I just don't, unless it's like a first or second round pick on linebacker, I don't see them doing that because we drafted so many linebackers this year, like 3 to 4. So why would we do that when we can go in free agency and just sign a veteran? Have you met any of the current any players? Yeah, so I met Carson Palmer, got an autograph, and then I met Sean Williams. So I work at a pet store, and he came in, and I knew he was like a player because his hands were like freaking huge. Like he grabbed the cart, and his hands like wrapped. I explained it in the last stream. His hands like wrapped around the whole bar. It was insane. I was like, yeah. And I went to the Bengals, and I was looking at all the headshots of the players. I was like, whose face is that under a helmet? And I go up to him. I was like, hey, are you Sean Williams? And he's like, yeah. And I got a picture with him. A really cool guy. That was the last player I met. Really cool guy. The Gridiron Blitz. Lions fan here. Appreciate the grind. Hey, man, I really appreciate that. I'll probably check out your channel if you're posting on there or not. But, yeah, really appreciate it. Lions, interesting. interesting this year. We'll see. If you want to contribute to the conversation, let us know, man. My boy Brian Yelton said, "What's up, my guy? What's up, Brian? How you doing, buddy? Thanks for joining the stream and stopping by and all the support. If you guys are in here right now, make sure to leave a like on the stream so other people can go ahead and click on it. I'd really appreciate that." The Gridiron Blitz up, Brian. Yeah, if anyone ever joins the stream, come on, guys. You guys gotta welcome to the stream, say what's up, and welcome the DCTV family. Marcus Bailey was a second-round projection. I don't think they view him as a late-round prospect. Yeah. Marcus Bailey, and it was because the injuries, correct? We talked about that last stream. Wasn't for the injuries. He was going to go early, but because he had some pretty devastating injuries. Doesn't matter what he was graded. They always have great players too high. No, the reason he did fall was because of the injuries. That is a fact. He would not be that far if he didn't have that injury. That is a true fact. But we'll have to see. Obviously, what if he gets injured again? What if he's not as healthy? You know what I mean? Yeah, he fell because of injuries. He had some serious injuries. And both, yeah, that's why he fell. It wasn't just like one injury. It was like injuries built over time. So all these NFL players, their scout guy or their medical guy was like, nope. Both knees? Nope. Only 23, both knees? Nope. Especially linebacker. I mean, those guys hit after hit after hit. They are not very durable. Yep, injury prone like the whole Bengals team. I mean, AJ Green and John Ross, a couple other people, but like not many else. We've had some injuries, but not as many as other teams. I mean, you guys got to realize we aren't the luckiest with injuries, but we are not the worst. I mean, let's be honest. And yeah, this is true. He was drafted in the 7th round, low risk, high reward. Hey, I totally agree. I mean, it's a splash. Well, the thing that the Bengals probably knew is that if he wasn't going to get drafted 7th round, he was going to instantly sign right after as an undrafted free agent. And so they knew they wanted to take the chance. And it's not a bad case because the talent is there. The talent, I mean, literally months before, he was literally a 2nd round talent. Usually if it's 3rd, 4th, 5th, yeah, those guys can be wrong. But if it's 2nd round, I mean, that's a highly graded draft pick. And when he gets those injuries, it's game-changing. So can I put them all in last season? Well, obviously the playoff game against the Steelers, that's my tippy top. If you're a Bengals fan, that's not your top game. I don't know what is. But other than that, can I add up all the games last year, man? I mean, there's some of the games where after the first drive, the gas and the air and the chemistry was just gone. So, the main thing in his mind was Joe Burrow, Tua, Joe Burrow. We got to lose this one to get Burrow. But, I mean, if we win, we get Tua. That's kind of what it felt like, man. But my worst game ever is by far the Steelers-Bengals playoff game just a few years ago. Good question, Bob. Brian said, who do you think is going to be the most surprising player this year for the Bengals? Well, I don't want to say Joe Burrow because I wouldn't be surprised if he did good. He's expected to do good because he's the first pick in the draft. T. Higgins wouldn't really be expected to do good because a 2nd-round pick. I think that's a good question. I think on the offensive line, I think Jonah Williams will bounce back. But once again, he's expected to do good because he was a 1st-round pick in the prior draft, even though he's coming off an entire year filled injury, like a whole year injury. I do expect him to bounce back. My video tomorrow is about Tyler Boyd. For local fans, it's not a surprise Tyler Boyd will do great. But for national media, it's kind of they don't even know who Tyler Boyd is because they're too stuck up the Cowboys' ass. So I think Tyler Boyd, people are going to be like, yo, Tyler Boyd, 3 back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons? Who is that guy? AJ Green, what? Like the national media, dude, they shit on Cincinnati so hard. But I don't know. I feel like if we're talking about the draft, Marcus Bailey, if he gets time, let me search something real quick. Give me 1 second. That's a great question. Who do you guys think? Go ahead and answer Brian's question in the comments. I mean, who you guys think is going to surprise some people this season? I mean, I think there's going to be a ton of people, honestly. Von Bell, but once again, I feel like everyone's expected, but that's just me, whereas national media is not expecting the Bengals to do crap. So I feel like it's different with a local guy like me versus national media guys. because really anybody that comes out of Cincinnati and is doing good, they're like, yo, that guy's doing good. Don't matter. Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott. Like, you know what I mean, dude? It's so annoying. But I think William Jackson's going to surprise some people because he's going to come back and have a pretty good bounce back season. DJ Reader's not going to turn heads. Carlos Dunlap, Geno Atkins, they're expected. Like somebody that's going to pop out. I hope John Ross, if he gets to see the field. If he gets to see the field, you don't know. It's either going to be John Ross or Auden Tate, because they're going to be battling for that wide receiver 4 or 3, depending what T. Higgins can do. I don't know, man. That's a good question. Logan Wilson, even though he was the 3rd round pick, I believe that guy's going to see the field a ton in 2020. But for Bengals fans, once again, that's not really, huge. But for national media, it's whatever. Aaron Smith said, how long do you expect your Q&A streams to be? I don't know. I feel like every time right before I stream, I'm going to say, I'm going to do this for about 15, 30 minutes. And then my first stream was an hour long. And then my last stream was over 2 hours long. And I get on here thinking, yeah, I'll get on here for 15 minutes, 30 minutes. And here we are. We're at 51 minutes right now. So honestly, I would say anything above an hour plus. Depends on what the time is and how I'm feeling. Feeling pretty good right now. So good question, buddy. Ooh. Well, I don't know if I want to say, because that John Ross video didn't do the best and didn't sit well with a lot of Bengals fans. And I didn't even say he was going to have a huge season. I just said I expect him to have a good season or Wheezy out of here. Like, he's out of here. So, I don't know. AJ Green, Tyler Boyd. And then we'll see. I want to say T. Higgins, those top 3. And then have Auden Tate at the 4. And then John Ross, 5. Or flip Auden Tate and John Ross, depending if Ross can stay healthy and can prove himself. And then if they want to play Ross at slot on some plays like a slant, use his speed, wouldn't expect that. But yeah, Tyler Boyd and AJ Green have it locked down if they stay healthy. And then, people are kind of panicking, like, oh, what if AJ gets hurt again? Well, if he gets hurt again, I don't expect him to continue his career with the Bengals, 1. And 2, we actually have depth at a position for the first time in a long time. So I feel pretty decent about it. What do you guys think about that? Adrian thought on Colin Cowherd. Not sure why he hates the Bengals so much. He also says that Burrow will waste his career as Bengal. Yeah, man, I watched some of his stuff, and it's hard to watch. If you want me to be honest, hold on, there we go. I don't know, man. It's just Cincinnati really doesn't get the respect it deserves from these, blue collar ESPN guys or whatever he is. I think he left ESPN, went to Fox or whatever. But whatever the scenario may be, they know nothing about Cincinnati. They've probably never even been to Cincinnati. Probably don't even talk to the players in Cincinnati. Don't even know what the locker room presence feels like. But then they'll have the balls to go out there and say, Joe Burrow is wasting his time. Like, at least when Carson Palmer said it, he was a Bengal and he's been in that locker room before. Even though it is a totally different situation, at least he has that connection. This guy doesn't know shit. Not trying to get mad over it. He has a job. He does it. He's a big guy, so obviously he has a lot of fans, and he does his thing. So I'm not going to hate. He does his thing. Obviously, I would love to be on his stage one day, but I would never disrespect the Bengals if I ever made it. But I just feel like a lot of these guys just, talk out their butt saying whatever they want, and they get no consequences for it. You know what I mean? And if anything, it just drives into more clicks and more views. He has built up a presence of teams that he loves and teams that he hates. So his team that he loves gets good views, but the teams he hates get a lot of views. The dislike ratio might be up high, but who the heck cares? He's getting views. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those, it's kind of just a media thing. That's my thought. Is there a player we lost in free agency that you was wish around? So Fedge, Billings, Vigil, Denard. I mean, am I heartbroken by any of them? No, not at all. I saw somebody in my what video was it? It was I think it was 5 reasons to be excited for the Bengals to win. Was it my last one? Was it my last video or the one before that? Somebody said the Bengals didn't sign Billings. They are so cheap. The season is thrown away. And it's like, really? They lost him, who's basically wasted his potential and has been doing nothing so far in his career. I think he had like 20 tackles. And you're going to just throw the season to the dumpster because they didn't sign him back? I mean, not really, man. I mean, it sucks to lose those guys, but at the end of the day, you got to live and move on, and they didn't bring him back for a reason. They obviously felt like those guys don't feel the new look Cincinnati Bengals. And so if the office doesn't want to bring them back, then I agree. We shouldn't bring them back. So we're not losing anybody crazy in that. And you could say, oh, what about Denard? Those corners. We brought in Mackenzie Alexander and Trey Waynes and other guys. You say Fedge. I mean, we brought in all those linebackers and then Von Bell. Billings, we brought in DJ Reader, who's a hell of a lot better and a harder worker. That's how I feel. Brian said, do you think Zach Taylor has the coaching potential to lead the Bengals to high production, or do you think he's a filler before the Bengals bring in a higher profile coach? That's a fantastic question, Brian. Yeah, I have some belief in Zach Taylor. The reason why I don't see the Bengals doing, just using him as a filler and bringing somebody else, don't you think they would have tried that with Marvin Lewis? They gave Marvin Lewis 2 decades of the team or whatever it was. Do you think they're only going to give Zach Taylor 5 years? No. And you could say, oh, well, there's more. There's Joe Burrow and there's all these guys. He had Carson Palmer. He had like Andy Dalton and all these young guys, a young AJ. He had all these guys and they let him build. They're going to let Zach Taylor build. And Zach Taylor's at least going to be here for a decade. And you can call me out on it if he's not. But it's just the Bengals organization. They got a young guy. Why do you think they signed the second youngest coach in the NFL? It's because they expect him to be here for a long time, right? They got the second youngest coach. So they did it for a reason. They believe they went after a young guy who has good offensive schemes and is playing that modern NFL and just believes in him and believes he can grow. So no, I believe he'll be here for a while. And I hope he is. With what he had to go through last year and how he got the Bengals to finally do something in the offseason, he poked the Bengals too much. It's like, dude, we got to do something. We got to get some players. We got to get some talent. We got to buy. We got to spend money. And it worked. I don't know what Zach Taylor did that Marvin Lewis couldn't, but he did it, and it worked. So I want him here. Anthony Witschey said, make me sleep, it's relaxing good. Karen Bo. Hey, Anthony, thank you for coming into the stream, buddy. I really appreciate it. Everybody that's in the stream, I really appreciate for you guys dropping in today. Leaving a like if you haven't already, and all the support. Subscribing if you haven't already. We're almost at 900. We're just a couple subscribers away from 900 right now. We're at 897. 897. What's up, Brennan? I made a promise I'm here. Way to keep it. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in like everybody else. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video. Hit the subscribe. Can one of you guys be my 900 subscriber if you're not already? I'm at 897 at the moment. So for everybody in here, what did you guys think about my latest video? 5 reasons to get excited for the 2020 Cincinnati Bengals. How do you guys feel about that video? You agree with me? You disagree? Is there any things that you think I left out? I felt like I hit a couple good things. I feel like there's a few things that I might have left out, but those are 5 things at the top of my head that when I think right away come to mind. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that one? I thought it was a great idea. I actually got it from the YouTuber Jet Central. Jet Central is around 10K plus subscribers, and he's in FANTOFANNETWORK. We're probably doing a collab here soon, but I literally hit him up. I was like, hey, buddy, can I take this from you, but do it Bengals? He's like, you sure? So shout out to Jet Central. Go check his channel out. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. I know we are talking about the Bengals, but how do you feel about the Reds free agency signings? How's it look considering they might not have an MLB season? Yeah, don't get it twisted. I'm not just Bengals. I am Cincinnati sports news in general, not just Bengals. Cincinnati sports news. So Reds questions fly too. I don't know, man. MLB, lately, every time I talk about it, I kind of just get disappointed because of the season and how they're handling the situation. I feel like this season would have been a really productive year for the Reds, and they've had just like the Bengals, they had a lot to look forward to this year. And I just feel like the MLB is not probably going to happen. Everything that the owners and the way they handle it, saying they promised. The guy is such an idiot. I don't even know his name, but he literally said, "Yeah, I promise there's going to be a season," and then turned right around and said, "Yeah, there's not going to be a season. Yeah, probably not." You cannot make a promise like that in one of the biggest leagues in the world. Millions of fans counting on that season to start. Even if it's less games, even if it's late, earlier, not as big a season, go out there and promise the fans you will get a season, and then go out there and not give them a season. You know what I mean? Like, the MLB is getting a lot of hate right now, and I can honestly see why. So, yeah, that's kind of my view on that. Not gonna lie. What do you expect out of DJ Reader? I believe the most casual fans that see his contract will expect like double-digit sacks. Double-digit sacks is not going to happen from DJ Reader. That is not the player he is. DJ Reader is not going to get double-digit sacks. DJ Reader is a guy who's going to come in to stuff the run game, and he's going to wear down that offensive line by getting two guys at a time. DJ Reader is so big and so strong, he's going to take up two defensive linemen or offensive linemen at once. He's going to get them confused, and basically it's going to set up on most plays the defensive ends one-on-one to get to the quarterback. So he's not getting the sack, but he's helping the ends get the sacks. And obviously that doesn't come up on paper, and I feel like that's why a lot of fans, when they see defensive tackles sign a big contract, like, dude, what the heck? This guy had 5 sacks last season. Yes, he had 5 of his own sacks, but how many sacks did he create for the rest of the team? So I expect him to be a great run stopper and, wear down offensive lines and help the ends get some sacks. That's what I expect. Don't expect him to get double-digit sacks. He only had 1 sack last season, I believe. He's made a Pro Bowl, I believe, already, too. I think he might have been a Pro Bowl alternate, but I know he's made a Pro Bowl already in his career. So that's another Pro Bowl on the defense. Branya said, outside of Bengals, what team do you think will surprise NFL fans this year? Hashtag Roan to 1K. If you haven't already, use that hashtag Roan 1K, baby. We're getting close. We are getting so close. But what team will shock some people? I think the Bengals will shock people how bad they're going to be, but shock people that they're going to be good. That's a very good question. I think Bengals are going to shock people how bad they are. I think the Panthers are going to do pretty decent in what people are saying. I don't know. We got to see how hard Christian McCaffrey has to carry. Who else? I think the Packers are going to surprise people how bad they do. I don't think they're going to do terrible, but I don't think they're going to be as good as everyone expects them to be. Aaron Rodgers is going down. There's obviously team chemistry issues. If they're denying it or not, there's obvious team chemistry issues. How are you going to draft a quarterback in the first round like that and not tell your quarterback? True fact. When Peyton Manning was at the Colts and they drafted Andrew Luck, they told Peyton Manning they were drafting before Andrew Luck. Respect, right? Respect, right? Yeah, the Packers didn't do that. That's the difference between a very good and respectful organization compared to a dump, one that's not as good. I'm just going to leave it at that. But, yeah, I'll leave that there. Great question, Brian. Colin Cowherd looks like a dummy that came to life only to look. Yeah, he said some things that a lot of people disagree with, especially in Cincinnati, and I do as well. I don't know. This is a tough one, man. I could see us anywhere from we were 25th last year, and we had the least amount of wins, and we're the worst team in the league, and we had 25 wins, or we were ranked 25th on the defense. I see us bumping anywhere from 20 to probably like 13, maybe 15 realistically. Anywhere from 20 to like 13. I don't see us top 10, but I don't see us too far away from it. You know what I mean? We got a lot of young guys that are going to make mistakes, and I feel like that's where it's going to bite us in the butt this year. We don't have too many secondary veterans, so I feel like we're going to give up some pretty long plays, and that's going to bite us in the butt because that's going to give us points. But we're young, hungry, and ready to get after quarterbacks and offenses. So For 25 last year, I can see us anywhere from 20 to 10. No higher than 10. If I want to expand it more, but realistically, probably more around that 15 to 20 range. Adrian said, yes, I'm excited for our D line. Going to be some double team for Reader, and he's going to open up gaps and create one-on-ones that I'm confident other guys will win. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, man. He's not going to, jump off the charts with numbers, but he's going to help our ends possibly jump off the charts with numbers. So, and he's a guy, a quarterback does not want to be hit by, or a running back. Him and Geno Atkins, dude, that's going to wear down some running backs. Yeah, I know we got Nick Chubb and other pretty decent running backs in our division, but when you get hit by Geno Atkins and DJ Reader so many times in one game, that's going to wear them down. I could not imagine that. The force and pain those guys bring. Do you think anyone will dethrone the Patriots in the AFC East this year without Brady? I see the Bills taking over. Yeah, man, AFC is busted wide open. I love the Patriots defense. I think they have a fantastic defense, but I believe their quarterback is not the answer. I don't know. It's almost too good to be true. Like people say, oh, next Tom Brady, similar situation, late round draft pick, blah, blah, blah. It's like almost too good to be true. Like if he turns out to be like a Tom Brady, I will probably say the NFL is rigged with the Patriots. Almost would guarantee that the NFL is rigged. So, I mean, let's look at the AFC East rankings last year. I like the Bills, but I don't like the quarterback. I don't like Josh Allen. Josh Allen is talented with one of the most God-given arms on the planet when it comes to strength. I don't like his accuracy, but if he can fix his accuracy, I think he'll get better a little bit. I think he'll grow. I don't like when he runs. I think he makes poor rushing decisions, and that could cost him getting injured. And his pocket presence is all right. He has a lot to prove on, but that's just me being a little harsh. The Dolphins, I saw a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, the Dolphins this, Dolphins that. The Dolphins are just like the Bengals where their team is so young that it's up and down. They could have 8 wins. They could have 2 wins and not be surprised about it just because they have so many young guys who haven't stepped on the field or have only done it for a season or 2. The Jets, no, I don't see the Jets. Jamal Adams is a big loss. A lot of people say that he's overrated. I don't see it. Jamal Adams can win you ball games. He can do some stuff. I could see the Dolphins having a better record than the Jets. I could see it Bills, Patriots, Jets. Or no. I take that back. Bills, Patriots, Dolphins, Jets. I think Jets will be the worst team in the league. I think Dolphins will be the 3rd best. And I think it's going to come down to the Bills and Patriots. Or the Jets and Bills. I don't know, man. That's a tough league right now. And it's wide open. I don't know. The Bills went 10-6 last year. So yes, I do think they will win the division. But do I think they'll mount anything in the playoffs once they get there? No. That's how I believe it. But yeah, I do believe the Jets will be the worst team, and I believe the Dolphins will be fighting with the Patriots for 2nd and 3rd. So Bills, Patriots or Jets, or Patriots and Dolphins 2nd, and then Jets last. Who do you consider to be the best offseason this year for the Bengals, or who do you has the greatest potential? You said signing. So obviously, Joe Burrow's number 1, but obviously I'm going to assume that you don't mean Joe Burrow. I think T. Higgins has the 2nd most potential behind Joe Burrow, but a person that I think is going to shock some people are Logan Wilson and Akeem Davis-Gathers, honestly. I think all the players that they drafted have a ton of talent. It just depends when they're going to, actually not be a raw talent and grow into it. So it's a great question, but I mean, let's take, for example, Marcus Bailey, the 7th round pick, just a couple months before he was ranked as a 2nd projected pick, and then got some pretty devastating injuries that built up, and drop to the 7th round. Potential. Guy has talent. He has potential, but, he has to get there. I don't. What? What? I'm confused. I'm not gonna lie. That just got me. I'm so confused. Don't sleep on 2 in the Dolphins. They beat the Pats with TB12 last year. Yeah, but that ending was ridiculous. That ending was crazy. I was watching that live when that happened, when they put Gronk all the way back in the defense as a safety. He missed the tackle. That was a funny one. I don't know. I think the Bills definitely have the best chance, and I think Dolphins and Patriots are going to battle out for second. Way too early to predict, but what are you feeling for a Super Bowl prediction this year? I mean, I think the Chiefs could go back again. They didn't lose anybody. I don't know how they didn't lose anybody, but they didn't. I think the Bucs can compete with Tom Brady on that team. Anything's possible. I don't care what you say. You don't have to like Tom Brady, but you got to respect him. And no matter what team he's on, no matter how much talent is on that team, he can get them there. I'm not saying he's going to win, but he can get them there. Maybe the Ravens. I think it just depends on what Lamar can do with his arm and not his legs. I really liked Lamar. He's obviously an MVP. He's a fantastic player. But I believe that, not saying that, he needs to get a little bit more accurate. I feel like defenses can start to figure him out, but figuring him out is different. Like figuring out scheme-wise how to figure him out is different than actually tackling the guy when he decides to take off. So, I don't know, man. I could see the Chiefs being there. I could see the Bucs. I could see the 49ers. I don't see the 49ers winning it. That's my thing. I don't see Jimmy Garoppolo being the guy, my opinion, unless he changes my mind. But, yeah, maybe some other guys. Maybe the Bengals. The Patriots losing is a victory for America. I think I'd rather see the Cowboys lose. I mean, I obviously like seeing the Patriots lose, but nothing's better when the Cowboys lose. And then you wake up, and then all the media, the national media, it's all it is Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, Dak Prescott. Like, I think, yeah, New England and the Cowboys have the biggest, when they lose, what the heck. And same thing with, I believe, the Packers. Packers are kind of like that too. Garoppolo's overrated. I agree to a certain extent. It's hard to call people overrated who go to the Super Bowl. Obviously, he has an amazing roster around him. I do believe he's not as good as people say he is. Put him on a roster like the Bengals. What do you think he would do? Put him on a roster with teams that haven't had, too successful past and not as much as talent as the team he's currently on, and see what happens. You know what I mean? So I feel like he has a lot to, improve on, and I think he can, but that guy just has so much talent. He's got to get a Super Bowl. Like, dude, that guy has so much talent on that team. It's kind of ridiculous. Definitely the Steelers. That's an easy one. I mean, I dislike the Ravens, but I don't hate them. They're cool. They're just a division rival. They're cool, but when we play them, I hate them. But when the week after, it's whatever. Unless they kicked our ass, then I'm mad. But I'd be more mad on the organization, on the team, than I am at the other team, unless it was a dirty hit or something. But I think for most Bengals fans, you got to stay Steelers there. Look, if Joe Burrow's a bust, the Bengals might relocate. I think Joe Burrow's kind of the last hope for Cincinnati, man. I don't even want to think about that. I hope not. I don't think he is. I couldn't imagine someone have 60 touchdowns and come in the NFL and just blow it. I don't want to talk. It's too late for that. I don't think so, Brennan. I really don't. Brian said, how do you see Kyle Murray's production improving in his second season, considering the addition of Hopkins, or maybe the opposite of him not producing like he is expected to? How do you see Kyle Murray's production? Yeah, I like Kyler. You know, he gets a lot of crap in the media about his size, not being able to see the O-line, yada, yada, yada. I think he's going to have a pretty good year this season. I mean, I don't care who you are. If you have DeAndre Hopkins on your team, dude, you should be all right. He has such a big security blanket. It is ridiculous. Like, Joe Burrow obviously has AJ as a security blanket, but it's not even close to Hopkins. I'm not going to lie. I like Kyle Murray. I think he'll be pretty decent this year, and I think he'll be pretty productive as well. It's actually really interesting you brought that back up because I totally forgot that happened. But yeah, I like Kyler. He gets a lot of hate. And he didn't even have that bad of a year. I'm assuming you meant why can't the Bengals just get over the hump and already beat the Steelers? I mean, are you talking about the playoffs, I'm assuming? Because we take regular season games away from them. But if you mean playoffs, yeah, we do have some payback that we would like to address with Pittsburgh for sure. Totally agree with that. We've been live for an hour and 16 minutes already. If you haven't already, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe. We are 3 subscribers away from 900 and 103 away from 1K. Hashtag road to 1K. So if you haven't, at least leave a like on the video and subscribe if you like the content. All right. Come on, guys. Keep hitting me up with some questions or anything, any topics. But yeah, I mean, does anyone have anything to say about my last video about 5 reasons to get excited for the 2020 Cincinnati Bengals? Nobody has anything to say about that? I mean, like, why are you excited for the 2020 Cincinnati Bengals season? You know, why are you a fan? Why are you pumped up for the season? Besides Joe Burrow. Obviously, that was my number one reason in that video because, like, come on now. We still have over 10 plus people in here. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me on this late night. It is almost midnight. Wow, I started this one late. And this is only my 3rd ever live stream, guys. So, like I said, it's only going to get better from here. I've only been doing this for about 3 months. And, you know, DCTV goes up from here. Hashtag road to 1K, guys. I'll go ahead and take that off the screen. Why do I feel attacked? Bengals. I love when you search up when was the last time Bengals and it says won a playoff game. Like, thanks. Oh, my bad. Hashtag road to 1K. You really know, hey, Bob, you really know how to silence a Bengals guy, don't you? Hey, you guys see this comment right here? Shout out to Adrian. Hashtag road to 1K. Real excited to what this channel has to become. I'm telling you, man, big things. I'm already signed to that network. I'm the Bengals guy. July 4th. I'm gonna do probably a live stream. I don't know, maybe not July 4th, maybe July 5th. We'll see. And I'm gonna send you guys the link of my literally gonna have a website page on this network of all Bengals content. And I'm the only Bengals guy. So I'm gonna be known here in Cincinnati as the Fan Network Bengals ambassador. So it's gonna be really huge. I'm telling you, we have been doing this for 3 months and are almost at 1K already, guys. I promise you I will bring you the best genuine content here in all of Cincinnati sports. The best content. No crap, you know, just solid content. And if you guys ever think something's not solid, call me out on it. And just like my live stream's only going to get better. I just got a new streaming service. I just paid over $200 for to do this stream tonight, to have this lower third and this nice setup and everything behind me that I had to go and get or whatever it may be. But there's one more thing I have left in this live setup, and that's a cord that I ordered on Amazon. And like I said earlier, it's coming in, and my live streams are actually going to be on my Canon camera, 1080 quality. Already got my audio set up really nice with the blue snowball, but telling you guys, the best content. Road to 1K, baby. Who do you think will be the top 3 leading receivers on the team? Healthy AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, probably T. Higgins. Alden Tate is going to get some touchdowns, obviously. John Ross is always a huge question mark, and if he's healthy, if he's consistent, if he's going to win a battle spot. And who am I missing? I'm missing somebody. AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Alden Tate, John Ross. No, those are 5 guys I'm talking about. So yeah, Tyler Boyd, AJ Green, T. Higgins probably. It honestly, Smitty, it depends who wins that 3rd spot. If T. Higgins wins it, probably get it. If John Ross wins it, he'll probably get it. If Alden Tate wins it, he'll probably get it. But I do expect touchdown-wise for AJ, Alden Tate, and T to lead. I don't think Tyler Boyd will lead in touchdowns. I think those 3 guys will. I think Tyler Boyd has the best chance of leading in yards with AJ. Total yards, it depends what kind of scheme Zach Taylor's running. If he's going pass heavy this season, 4 out, 5 out, during the game, there could be a lot of, receptions. Brennan said, do you really think the 49ers are going to be a true force in the NFC, or do you think they just had a flash in the pan kind of season? Well, I do believe in, like, the Super Bowl slump teams get. It's kind of a big thing. I'm not going to lie. I do think the 49ers have a ton of talent, and they have one of the best coaches in the league in Kyle Shanahan. That dude is a freaking monster. I don't care what you say. You don't have to like the 49ers, but you got to respect that guy. So I think they got a great coach. I think they got a great talent. I just don't think their quarterback is going to win them a Super Bowl. And it's not that I don't like Garoppolo. I just don't think he's the one. So do I think they'll win the Super Bowl? No, but do I think they'll make the playoffs? Yes. Great question, Brennan. This is it. This is the comment. I'm excited to see the duo of Jesse Bates and Von Bell in the secondary. I think them together can really bring a spark to the defense. Yeah, those are probably our 2 biggest, playmakers that we're going to have, depending on, Mackenzie Alexander from the Vikings never been a huge playmaker, but gets the job done. Trey Waynes has never been a huge playmaker, and Jesse Bates hasn't really. I think he has a pick 6 or something. So I really think our safeties are really going to have to lead in fumbles and, interceptions and stuff like that. I'm really going to bring that spark, like you're saying. And don't forget about Sean Williams. He's still going to be, I think he's one of the oldest guys on that secondary. Might be the oldest at like 28 or 29. So he's still going to get some playing time, and he's going to, tell where all these young guys where to go. So, but yeah, that's going to be fun to watch. Bob, you're good, man. You're good. Hey, it's all good, man. I feel like the Bengals are forgetting the under-the-radar conversation of Trey Waynes. Yeah, man. Trey Waynes and Mackenzie Alexander both coming from the Minnesota Fighting Vikings. It's going to be a good one to watch. Team chemistry is already there. They're in their mid-20s. They got some decent talent. The big thing with them is they might not make a lot of huge plays, but they don't give up a lot of huge plays. They're in there. They do what they got to do. They they played against some decent talent because, with the down path of Xavier Rhodes in Minnesota, those guys really had to step up. Xavier Rhodes was either hurt, complaining, or just not being as good as, being the fall off that he was just from a couple years ago. And those 2 guys had to step up and come in there with that Minnesota Vikings defense. And they did a pretty damn good job. And because Mike Hughes has been hurt too for the Vikings. So those were literally the 2 guys. And the Vikings lost out on them. And the Bengals got them for nothing. I thought the deals the Bengals did on them was, really good contracts. So, yeah, I feel like they'll be great players. Okay. Here, I'll write that down. I'll type that. Yeah, so I'm using the Blue Snow right now. I'll probably use this for a while, but I got other things to worry about in the setup. But definitely in the future, getting another mic, a little bit of a nicer one, is definitely on my radar for sure. Let me Okay. Thank you, Brennan. I got that in my notes. I'm trying to think where Tate can get time, because if everyone's healthy, Tate is going to get time in the red zone. It's a good question, but if you think about it, Tate is getting time in the red zone. 6'5", strongest receiver in the NFL besides probably DK Metcalf. And the red zone is where he'll get his time. Anywhere from the 20-yard line and up, 10-yard line, he will be in there either one blocking or two mossing people. Joe Burrow has a chance to break the touchdown record because the most of the receivers for the Bengals are red zone threats. AJ Green, 6'4", 6'5". Auden Tate, 6'5". T. Higgins, 6'4". These guys, toss it up to them because here it is with the secondary. Most teams don't have a cornerback that's over 6 foot. And even if they do, they usually only have one. Maybe someone who's 6'1", 6'2", like Xavier Rhodes. But I can guarantee you they're not going to have three that are all over 6'1", 6'2". Guarantee it. So if you put them, like literally, I don't even think they should have Tyler Boyd in there unless they're running like a 4 or 5 out. I think you go the 3 Giants and then Speedy John Ross. Give Tyler Boyd a break. Let Tyler Boyd get us down there and put in those guys. Or even Mixon. Toss to Mixon from the backfield. That's where I think he'll get his time. And I think he'll get some decent amount of touchdowns. At least I think that's how we should value him. 6'5". Have you seen the muscles on that dude? I knew he was big, but on one of my first very videos when I was using more photos over the overlays in my videos, I found this photo of AJ Green and him, AJ Green and Tyler Boyd in practice. Or not Tyler Boyd, AJ Green and Auden Tate side by side in practice. Dude, AJ Green's a big dude, but Auden Tate makes him look tiny. Go look up right now in a second window, Auden Tate. Dude is huge. They gave all this crap about DK Metcalf being big. Dude, Auden Tate's just as big. I'm telling you. I'm thinking Mixon or Gio might sneak up and be the third leading receiver just because Burrow is comfortable dumping off to running backs. I don't know about the third, but I do see the running backs getting involved a ton in the receiving game. I said that in a previous video. Don't remember which one. It was in the Pay Joe Mixon video. I said one value that Joe Mixon is going to have is Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow loves dumping it off to his running backs. And yes, Gio is in there to be a receiving running back. But there are going to be times where he does little pitches to Joe Mixon. So, yeah, I totally agree with you. Maybe not third, but I believe our running backs will be heavily involved in the receiving game. I mean, just like most things, they have their good takes and they have the hot takes and the bad takes. I'm assuming you're talking about the one where they said Joe Burrow is going to have a better season than Baker Mayfield. I like how that sounds. You know what I mean? I mean, they base it off of all stats, so you can't sit there and say, oh, that's a blue-collar ESPN guy who just says whatever he wants and gets no backlash for it. These guys are actually doing statistics, number guys, the nerds, whatever you want to call them. So, I mean, you can't hate, but they do what they do based off numbers. So I like some of the stuff they put out. Yeah. I mean, I definitely like what they're saying about Joe Burrow. Being a Vikings and a Bengals fan in the situation, end up in the Super Bowl. Who are you pulling for? Bengals because my hometown. Being here in Cincinnati, going to college here in Cincinnati, growing up here all my life, never got to witness anything like that. So to see it happen where I've been born and raised, oh my gosh. To be the parties in the streets. Bro, you know how many people I know would be sleeping on the streets because of parties all night? Downtown with all those places by the Red Stadium, that whole strip of downtown Cincinnati, dude. And the Vikings, I don't know if they can get one under Kirk. I think Burrow has a greater chance with his career. Obviously, he has a longer time to do it. If I remember correctly, I think Tate only had 2 touchdowns. I love Tate, though, made some nasty catches. Yes, he didn't have many, but I really think that should change in the game plan. But you got to think, we didn't score a lot. We lost more games than anybody in the league. We were the worst team in the league. So we didn't. Everybody's touchdowns were down. Joe Mixon didn't have a lot of touchdowns. Tyler Boyd didn't have a lot of touchdowns. Tate didn't have a lot of touchdowns. Nobody had a lot of touchdowns because we didn't win. So I don't really look at the touchdowns from the stats from the year previous. Although I think they're going to utilize him more in the red zone. That's what I'm trying to say. Who do you think is taking the NBA championship this year, considering shortened season? Do you think the Lakers or Bucks? Lakers. LeGoat James is going to get another ring. You see him in the setup if you watch previous videos, that stitched LeBron jersey, which I'm thinking about replacing with the Joe Burrow jersey if I get another one. Don't want to disrespect the King, but it's Cleveland, not Cincinnati. But yeah, I think LeBron's gonna get him one more. We'll see though if they bring it back. I think they just put some out today or yesterday with like a whole bunch of players getting sick on it. I don't remember what team it was, but a team there was like 11 players or 11 people from the organization and like that. Yeah, it's not good. Or it was just or maybe it was just 3, but there was something with the NBA player or NBA team and a whole bunch of coaching staff. So we'll see, Brennan. Am I a Reds fan? I go to some Reds games, if you know who this is. Yeah, man, I've gone to some Red games in my life. I'm definitely a bigger football and basketball guy, but I do like me some Reds. They just, you know, they've never been the best growing up. I guess you could say that about the Bengals, but I go to quite a bit of Reds games, honestly. Last year I probably went to probably 10 maybe. I'd probably say around there. So yeah, I like the Reds. What do you think they'll do? Well, if there would be a season, I think they would shock people. I think they'd be pretty, they got a young group of guys and they got Joey Votto who has a year, 2 to 3 left in him to be relevant. So I think they would have shocked some people this year for sure, man. I've never been more excited for a baseball season than I was this year. NFL, I'm so hyped, especially when the draft hits. It's like, oh my God, when's the NFL starting? NBA, I'm a little excited just because of LeBron and going to the Lakers. Oh my gosh! But the baseball, I'm really never too excited just because I feel like the seasons are so long. It's like, baseball is basically year round. But this season, I was like was feeling some type of way, like wanted to go to opening day. I was considering on the verge buying tickets and doing a vlog for it. So yeah, man, I was actually really excited this year. And of course, the one year, this all happens. Clippers, nah, man. LeBron runs LA. Let's be honest. Playoff LeBron, different than season LeBron. Come on, you know that. Hey, but Clippers are a good team. I'm bouncing out of here, bro. Just keep up waiting up for the video on Tuesday. Tuesday at noon, you guys know it. # road to 1K. I appreciate you coming and spending your time with us, Brian. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you for stopping in, buddy. I appreciate all the support from you and everybody else in here. Thank you for coming in. What YouTubers live around your area in NKY? Couldn't tell you. I don't really watch a lot of YouTube to begin with. I usually, if I do, I'm watching like people that are FT and FN, like the guys in my network that are doing other sports videos. But I'm the Cincinnati guy, and all those guys are on the other teams around the country. So, I don't know many. I know Flimlo raps, but I don't know if he's in Northern Kentucky. I think he's in Ohio. I go where LeBron goes. Let me be honest. Cincinnati don't have a team, so it was Cleveland because LeBron, but now it's LA because of LeBron. So I'm one of those guys who go where LeBron goes. I know a lot of people don't like me or people who do that, but you got to look at a perspective. My city doesn't have a team. You know what I mean? If I lived in Cleveland, or no, let me rephrase that. If I lived in Minneapolis, and I said I was I go where LeBron goes, then I could kind of see it, but you know. Have you played NFL 2K5? I don't think so. I played what's that one with the broadcasters and you can do the training. They it's the one that's known for your rookie mode. It was like the most in-depth practice mode and everything. So I think it was, is it 7? I think it's 2K7 maybe. Let me look this up. I don't remember which one that was, but it was no, I played 07 on the Wii. 07 was on the Wii. Yeah. That's funny. Man, that was such a long time ago. Brent says Bengals winning Super Bowl. That's a stretch. Obviously, never say never, but it could happen. But I'm just looking for a season with some good wins. Hey, I appreciate you, Brennan. If you're leaving, that's all right. thank you for coming out, buddy, and supporting. I really appreciate it, bud. Much love. Bob says no. Brent says yes. I don't know. It's definitely a push. I mean, a 2-win season to a Super Bowl champions would be crazy. We have Joe Burrow for 2 decades. Let's just hope he gets the Super Bowl win in those 2 decades. The TO cover. Terrell Owens on top cover. Is that true? Is that true? Oh, he was on 19? No, I'm not talking about Madden. Oh. Okay, you're talking about 2K5. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know what you're talking about. Okay, I was confused. Yeah, I don't remember that one, but I remember the one where it was it's known for the career mode. 6 to 8 wins for the Bengals sounds fair. We'll see. That's pretty realistic. We gotta, the O-line holds up, and the defense can build up some team chemistry awfully quick. That's definitely capable of doing that. Now we're up to 17 people plus in the stream. So if you haven't already, leave a like on the stream so other people will see it and join. And go ahead and subscribe. We're at 897 subscribers, 3-way from 900, 103-way from 1,000, baby. How many jerseys do you have? Honestly, I didn't really invest in a lot of Bengals jerseys because they're expensive. I don't want to go buy fake ones for players that I don't know that's going to stick around and do anything big. But right now, this is my favorite one. If you didn't already, go watch the video. What are you doing? Go watch the video. It's only a couple minutes. But basically, it was just me opening it, reacting to it, and did a montage of it. But that Bengals orange and that number 9 Burrow, it's cold. Cold. I mean, let me be honest, I'll probably get a color rush Burrow too. I'll probably get a color rush, and then whatever player has a breakout year, I'll probably buy like a white or black version of their jersey. It's just the Nike jerseys are so much money, and it's so hard to tell with the NFL market, who is going to pan out and be an all-time player. Obviously AJ Green would make sense if he got his jersey years ago, but quarterbacks are usually easier to tell because, one, they're quarterbacks. But give me about 30, 45 seconds, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm coming. All right. I'm back. Sorry, guys. Okay. Clean AF. I know, Adrian. Do you got a Burrow jersey? If you're a Bengals fan, man, you got to get one by the end of the season. Come on. As a Ravens fan, I can't believe that the Bengals didn't draft barely any offensive linemen. Well, as a Bengals fan, I think we took best available. I know it was that offensive line. I forget his name. It was that offensive lineman or T. Higgins at that spot. And T. Higgins wasn't supposed to drop to us, so we were almost guaranteed to start the second round with that offensive lineman. T. Higgins dropped. A lot of people still didn't think the Bengals were going to take him because they thought they were going to take the offensive lineman. But they ended up taking T. And at that point, I kind of knew, okay, well, third, fourth round will probably get us an offensive lineman, linebacker, defensive end. Now, I will say, which pick was it? So 7th was linebacker, 6th was offensive lineman, fifth was defensive end, fourth was linebacker, third was linebacker. I like our linebacker picks because besides our offensive line, linebacker was our biggest need. So I'm happy that was addressed. But I think fifth, you could tell the Bengals were just going for best talent because, or, no matter what the position is, just going off of talent because they took Khalid Kareem, defensive end, at Notre Dame. Bengals really don't need a defensive end. You know what I mean? They obviously need offensive line right now compared to defensive end. But by them taking that pick, they really believed Khalid Kareem has more talent than any of the offensive linemen on, that was left in the draft. And as much as, when you see the response live, it's kind of like, what the heck are you doing? But once you look back on it, you want to take the player with the most talent, even if it's a different position, because you're always going to get another opportunity to trade or sign or next year's draft. So, yeah, it's definitely controversial that they, that the 6th round was the only round they drafted linemen. But, and I also think they have some hiccups from last year using the 1st round pick on an offensive lineman, and then he doesn't play a single snap of the entire NFL that whole season. I think that might have scarred the Bengals a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't even know. John Ross. I don't like using the word bust unless I actually mean it. So I don't want to say John Ross quite yet. John Ross has one more season. John Ross has this season to prove himself. And if he doesn't do it this season, then yes, he will officially be a bust for the Bengals. Yeah, I mean, those are 2 jerseys to have, man. Steve Smith and Lamar. If I was a Ravens fan, there's hands down I'd have at least 2 to 3 Lamar jerseys. Like if Joe Burrow wins MVP, I'm buying Color Rush, white and black, probably. If you want me to be honest, I'd probably drop $500 in just Joe Burrow jerseys. Like if my quarterback hits MVP, yeah, there's some cool jerseys. Steve Smith is a good one to have too. He's a great player. It was Josh or T. Higgins and Jones dropped. Yeah, Jones sounds familiar. I have my draft prediction video. I spoke about it. He's in there. That lineman was in there, and I just don't recall his name. But Josh sounds familiar. It was him and T. Higgins, and most Bengals fans were convinced offensive line to be safe because Bengals usually go safe, and then it comes up T. Higgins. So I think a lot of people are kind of like, "Yo, that's crazy," but we'll see how it pans out. That offensive lineman becomes a top 10, top 15, top 10 offensive lineman. We'll see. One more question. Do you think we should have taken or signed Thad Moss towards the end of the draft? I mean, tight end is definitely a position that, we could use some more people in. So I think that Thad Moss would have been a pretty good decision. But it's so hard to tell with the hype built around him because of Randy. Randy Moss being the son of Randy Moss, the greatest receiver of all time. I think there was still a lot of hype. But he went to LSU, correct? So, with Joe Burrow, that would have been a neat thing to have for sure. So, I mean, yeah, I think that would have been cool to see the Bengals take a choice. But I'm pretty sure since he didn't get drafted, literally seconds after the draft, or after teams had their last pick and they knew they wanted to get him, they probably called him right after. It's like, hey, you're coming to us, not as a draft pick, but undrafted, but you're coming to us. I'm pretty sure it was pretty quick like that. But yeah, I think that would have been pretty neat with Burrow. Yeah. Even though he still was on team, I want a Joe Flacco jersey. Yeah, man, that would have been a cool one to have. That would have been a cool one. Like I got an Andy Dalton jersey stitched and everything, but it's put away. Just kind of one of those things. And I'm sure you can still get a Joe Flacco jersey on sale at like a store in Baltimore because if you go to a bunch of stores around here at malls or any sports stores, they still have Andy Dalton jerseys and they're like $50 on the sale rack. And they're not cheap. They're like the nice NFL approved stitched ones or whatever. Like just chilling. Like I went into I went into the Pro Bowl store at actual Paul Brown Stadium like a couple of days ago, and I went in there, and all the way in the very back of the store, there's a rack, and it says sale, and it was literally just like Andy Dalton jerseys, and they were like $60, which I still think is a lot, but you got to think these jerseys are like 120 to 150 bucks. So, you know, a Flacco one would be cool, but that's kind of over with, man. Moved on to Lamar. I mean, it's kind of like what the Bengals are doing, moving on from Dalton and going on to Burrow. So, even though Burrow isn't like taking Andy Dalton's place, kind of like how Lamar kind of took over Joe Flacco. You know what I mean? So, similar situations, but not the exact same. All right, somebody asked me a question. Let's get active in the comment section. Got a couple people in here. Let's go ahead and get something talked about. Adrian said, do you think the Bengals should have gotten a free agent veteran to help mentor Burrow? Yeah, it was a choice, but I mean, they still have time to do that. I mean, who was on the market? I don't know who was on the market that they could have got at the time because let's see. Was Fitzmagic? I mean, I don't even know if I would want Fitzmagic because like he'd probably try to take the spot and he wouldn't want a backup spot because he wants a backup spot where he can really be a starter but be a backup. You know what I mean? So I don't know who would be available. And honestly, the way I kind of feel like how that usually works or how it should work is that it should be like somebody that was already a Bengal. So if like Andy Dalton stayed and Burrow took over and Burrow or then Dalton could mentor him, something like that. But like bringing in somebody from another team and having him just come sign, that would be cool, but is it necessary? Probably not. But yeah, I don't know who was honestly available at the time. Yeah, Bob said if Ben goes down again, the Steelers are screwed. All of them other backups are trash. Yeah, Mason Rudolph isn't the guy. And I've actually spoke Zibabufu, are you in here, man? I've spoke to Steelers fans and I've asked them, I was like, okay, be honest, no bias. Is Mason Rudolph the answer? And the guys I've spoke to, they're like, no, he's not the answer. He's a backup. So I agree. I mean, if I think Ben goes down in general, I think he's done. He's already coming back from a pretty nasty injury, you know. So I think if he goes down again, he's wrapping his career up. I don't think he can come back from another injury. Flacco. Yeah, Flacco, because he won a Super Bowl, but at the same time, that's kind of like in division. I feel like that would kind of be awkward a little bit. You know what I mean? You know how usually. I don't know, man. I feel like that would be cool, but I don't think it's necessary. Because I feel like Joe Burrow has a higher ceiling than Joe Flacco. But I mean, both are named with Joe, so who knows? Keenan was out there with sign with the Browns. Yeah, I guess Keenan was cool. I think. I guess he could be a tournament, but they really don't play the same game. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I feel in this situation. I feel if I want a previous top quarterback. Guess you could say Flacco. But like Keenum, like I definitely see a higher for Burrow than I do Keenum. So. Audio static. Okay. Hold on. All right. That should be fixed. Do we get the audio back? Long story short, my Mac died and my blue ball disconnected, so that's why the audio was bad. But how's it sound? Does it sound good? It should be back to normal. Okay, it's good now. All right. Sorry about that, guys. My my Mac died. Didn't really die. I mean, it like shut off, and then the audio went out. So sorry about that. Thank you for sticking around. My charger's in my other room. I went over running in there because I was pressing my Mac. I was like, "What's going on?" And I could tell it died. So, all right. Sorry if I messed up. If I had static in your ears for a second, I apologize. Okay. Well, let's get 12:30. I guess I'll probably go. We're in here for an hour and 53 minutes. I'll at least go for 2 hours at this point. So, does anybody have a couple more topics that we can talk about before wrapping the stream up? A couple more either good questions or topics we can wrap it up on. Preferably either Bengals related or division related. If you have something else, that's okay, but it's just we are almost at 2 hours in here. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Ken Riley should be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, man, that's been a big topic on Twitter lately. If you guys are on Bengals Twitter, it's been a huge topic about the retirement process and the Hall of Fame and all that good stuff. But the Bengals did, yeah. I agree. Ken Anderson, yeah. Ken Anderson should be too. Ken Anderson's still involved a little bit. And he's on Twitter too. So, what's up, Drake? I'll pull this one up because this is a topic. But yeah, I totally agree with you guys. There's been a lot of talk. And I honestly think they will do something because there's been so much talk. Brent said, how many wins last year? Green's not hurt. Not many more than what we had, honestly. But I don't even want to talk about that because I'm happy I'm not happy, but we have Joe Burrow now, so should Ken Anderson. Yeah, I totally agree, man. 100% should definitely. What is up, Drake? Welcome back, buddy. It's okay. If you ever get any free time, you can always watch the stream back if you want to. I know it's not as entertaining as my videos. My videos are usually only 5 to 20 minutes long, whereas these streams are an hour, 2 hours. But if you heard any free time, feel free to go back and watch it. Yeah, Adrian, I agree. That's something they got to get sorted out for sure. Yeah, I think Chad should too, my opinion. But I'm a little bit biased because he's my favorite player. So, for sure. Favorite player in the division outside of Cincy, of course. I mean, favorite player to watch is definitely Patrick Mahomes. Hate the guy or not, dude. Oh, he is so entertaining to watch. You like never know what's next. I love watching Patrick Mahomes. Adrian Peterson was one of my favorite players growing up, if not my favorite player. Even though he's older now, he's still one of my all-time favorites. I like watching Dalvin Cook, even though he's in an awkward situation right now. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of guys I root for. There's not a lot of guys that like I think there's a lot of guys I root for. I might not root for the team, but there's a lot of guys that like I hope do good. And I think that's kind of what happens when you go more depth into football and you're either doing like a podcast or a website or writing or something. You feel like you wanna root on for guys because you want them to see good, of course. Drake said not much, just playing Warzone. I love Warzone. I'm trying to play less of it so I can be on here with you guys. Let me be honest. I couldn't play Warzone and do this at the same time. What happened to Ray Magaluga? Yeah, that's a good one, man. What did happen to Ray Magaluga? I love that guy. Man, I remember growing up and like mispronouncing his name. I still do sometimes, but like growing up being a little kid, be like just saying his name so wrong. But yeah, that guy was the heart and soul of the Bengals. And that's what we need on defense. Ray Magaluga wasn't the best linebacker in the league, but damn, did he love his Bengals. And he brought the energy to that defense. So, I don't know. Miss that guy. Dude, if we had him on this defense, I think our defense could be like competing top 10. Just because we need Ray Magaluga energy. Or Pecco energy. Pecco was not the best defensive tackle in the league, but man, that guy brought energy. Yeah, they will. Green and Gino. They definitely will. I agree with that. Drake said if Ross could get out of his head, where do you think he compares to Hill with both of them being speed guys? It's always hard comparing players because obviously Ross hasn't panned out and Tyreek Hill has. I do think they do have some similar attributes, but obviously Hill is the better player because he has his stuff together where Ross doesn't. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know, man. This is Ross's last chance this year. His final chance is this year, at least for the Bengals. He might sign somewhere else, but we'll see. Adrian said another good podcast is the Orange and Black Insider Bengals podcast. It's just a recommendation they're supposed to have. Yeah, I saw something on them, but nothing against anybody in the Cincinnati community because I don't want any beef, but I haven't seen them post a lot. At least on YouTube, I haven't seen them that much consistency, and that's what I'm trying to keep here at DCTV. But yeah, that's sweet, man. That would be cool to have Ken Anderson as a guest. So good for them. They must be doing pretty nice. But I will, Adrian. I'll definitely check them out. I haven't watched anything, but when I'm doing tags for videos, I'm doing like Cincinnati Bengals podcasts, Cincinnati Bengals breaking news, Cincinnati Bengals news, YouTube, Bengals YouTuber, stuff like that, because I want to be ranked the highest. And when I go podcast, like Cincinnati Bengals podcast is one of those searches, and it's him and me on the top searches. So I've like clicked on there, but I haven't watched anything of theirs. Probably should give it a check. I'll definitely check them out with some free time. Ross showed he could be great for Seattle. Yeah, it's true. Ross has showed many times where he could be great. It just inconsistency and he's just not there. He has showed more than once that he is a great player and can be great. You know. Yeah, Pecco joined my Ravens. I love Pecco, man. Look, he isn't the most talented guy out there, but that guy has passion, love, and support for the team he walks on the field with. And just like Magaluga, he brings that energy, and that defense is pumped. And that's something teams need. And a pick like that, cheap deal, might not going to get a lot of plays, but he's on the field, he's on the defense. That's a great veteran to have in the locker room. Dunlap should also make the Hall of Fame in my opinion. Leads the Bengals in sacks, I believe. Yeah, I don't know about if he leads in sacks. He might. He probably will. I think he might finish out here in Cincinnati too. I don't know. He should. And I think he's gonna have a good year this year with DJ Reader and Geno Atkins on the inside. At this point, it's a make or break for Ross. He should get a shot, bring a returner to help get his confidence back. We talked about that last stream, Drake. We talked about it. I think he should too. But no, this is literally his last shot in Cincinnati. And unfortunately for him, there's so much talent on our receiver group. He's not going to get a lot of shots. The very few shots he gets, make or break, like you said, bud. They are based of the Cincy Jungle website. Okay. So that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I won't be on that website, but I will be on the Fan of Fan Network website July 4th. So catch me on there. Drake said, so Drake and I talked about some video ideas. I put in my notes, man. I don't know if they're going to be sooner or later, but they will be there. Many people have DM'd me or talked to me about notes or videos. I have a whole collection of notes, like just scrolling long page of notes on my phone of video ideas. I'm not going to talk about, obviously, because I want other people taking them, even though there's not going to be people taking them. But yeah, thanks, man. If any of you guys ever have any video ideas, please go to my social media right here on Instagram or Twitter, and please send me them. If you want a shout out, if you want anything, I'll give it to you. But the ideas help me out a ton. And it's, obviously entertaining for you. They post every Wednesday on their podcast. It's just a recommendation. You guys are definitely my favorite Bengals content. Greatest 100%. Yeah, man. Sweet. Appreciate that. How long have they been doing it? I'm assuming longer than me since I've been doing it for 3 months, but Miss Perfect's talent. Yeah, man. Perfect had Perfect had some talent for sure. The guy peaked, but he just can't teach an old dog a new trick. That's kind of how I felt about the situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, I actually did play football. I played a little bit of pee-wee football. That's about it. No high school football. I don't think Ross should return because did he get injured during a regular game? There's no way he's going to stay healthy. Well, my take on that, Adrian, I don't think he's going to have like a choice. If he wants to possibly stay on the NFL team or on the Bengals, that might be one of the only chances he gets. So at that point, that's his decision, but we'll see. I think bringing T in was to show Ross, you don't do your job, this guy will. Well, and you also got to think, Drake, so they drafted Tyler Boyd. And the only reason I know this is because I just wrote the script for Tuesday's video earlier about Tyler Boyd. Tuesday's video is about Tyler Boyd, I'll say that. And I just wrote the script. So they drafted Tyler Boyd, second round, I believe. Yeah, second round, 55th pick in the draft. And then the year after, they go out and get John Ross in the first round. So it's like, and he had a good rookie season too. He had like 600 plus yards, like 5 touchdowns, good amount of receptions, a decent rookie year. And they didn't care. They took John Ross. And look at him now. Tyler Boyd's number 1, number 2 at receiver. And John Ross is fighting for the 4th, 3rd receiver spot with rookies and other players. So. But you guys will see more of that on Tuesday. That's why I think you guys are really going to like Tuesday's video, because I feel like on live stream, most of the time we're talking about the receiver group. So I think it's going to throw another receiver video out there. Yeah, they've been doing it for a couple. They have, man. They have been doing it for a couple of years. They've been battling out, and I think it's just one that Tyler Boyd, at the end of the day, is winning. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. He should have another 1,000-yard season this year. 3 back-to-back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Got to give him this credit. I don't even know if John Ross has 1,000 yards in his entire career. Yeah, this is a good one right here. Devin Hester was a prime example of what a return specialist could do for a team. That's true, man. Devin Hester was a beast of a player. That guy was good. And what he did for his team was light and day, That's true. Perfect was in the wrong generation of the NFL. If Perfect was a few decades before, you know, that is true. I agree with that. And it's just unfortunate with Perfect because he had the talent. He really did. He was a heck of a freaking ball player. But you can blame the league by saying they're soft, but they warned Perfect many, many times. You can say the league's soft, whatever. But they warned him multiple times and he never changed. You can't teach an old dog a new trick. Like, I get it. I get his situation, hitting for 20 years of playing football, 20 years of his life, and he's always tackled like that. And all of a sudden, overnight, overnight, you want him to change how he tackles. I get it. I get both sides. And then I get the NFL. They want to make the NFL, better for CTE and everything. I get it. But when, the NFL is a business, and at the end of the day, they're gonna warn you. And if you don't fix your new, if you don't fix what you're doing wrong, you're out of here. And that's what happened. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate because look what we're talking about now. We're talking about the Bengals linebacking crew. How there's no one there besides young guys. What if Perfect was there? Like, what if before all the controversial stuff happened and Perfect was like 85, 88 overall on Madden and like his first few years in the league? I mean, the guy was a beast. Imagine if he was on today's team. Defense would be nasty. Boyd is the most underrated I've seen in the league. Can you please go comment that on Tuesday's video? If you don't make the premiere or if you make the premiere, spam that in the comment sections because that is something I stressed in the video. Hey, thank you, DMC Beats. Thank you, Donovan, for sticking in here for 2 hours and 10 minutes in the stream. I appreciate you, bro. Much love. You see that hashtag road to 1K, guys. That's why I do this. Thank you, DMC. Good night. Adrian said Drake Berry. The thing is that Hester stayed healthy, but Ross can't. Yeah, I'd say that's one of them. Hester was also doing it the whole time. Ross hasn't really even tried. Or the Bengals haven't tried, whichever way it is. Jarvis Landry is overrated in my opinion. He's rated. I mean, I think he's not as overrated as Odell is. Well, it depends which season, because Odell has had great seasons and great catches. I think the Browns are overrated in general, and players that are going there because they're not winning, they are now being said that they're overrated. You know what I mean? I feel like you could put Tyler Boyd at or on the Browns roster, and the Browns won't win, and they'll say, "Oh, Tyler Boyd is overrated," even though on the Bengals he's underrated. You guys know what I mean? According to PFF, we have 2 of the top 15 wideouts in the AFC. Green at 5 and Boyd at 12. Yeah. I don't know. And Boyd can only get better. You know what I mean? And Green can probably only get worse. 5 and 12? Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I understand that Perfect was a bit of an idiot. Yeah, I love the passion too, man. It really is unfortunate. Like, that's the only word I can think about the Perfect situation. He got warned. He didn't change. He's out the league. Really sad because the talent was there. Like, if he was still on this team, man, this linebacking crew would be different. It would be night and day. And that's, I hate when national media talks about Perfect because they're like so disrespectful about the situation. I mean, even some professional people like YouTubers, ESPN people kind of just are disrespectful about it. I'm like, dude, like, man, that's that dude's life. That's that dude's career. You know what I mean? I get it. I get, they gave him chances. Teams gave him chances. The Raiders gave him a chance, and he didn't change. I get that. But come on, let's not be disrespectful about it. Pratt should be big. be pretty big in the season. Yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see. Somebody's got to step up in that linebacking crew. Somebody. We'll see. Boyd is going to be balling out thanks to Joe. I think the same thing, and that's why I'm making that video. I don't think he's going to have a lot of touchdowns, but he's going to have another 1,000-yard season for sure. Yeah, if you can find it, send it to me. PFF, and like if my video ideas are ever getting dry, I could always drop like a reaction video to PFF stuff because I mean they're always coming out with stuff. Like it would be nothing to put up. PFF ranks quarterbacks, or they rank wide receivers, they rank defensive linemen, whatever, yada yada yada. AFC, it's something I could always do, and I've thought about doing too. Well, we were at 2 hours and 12 minutes. I'll probably get it another 10, 15 minutes here, if not less, before I sign off here. So give me some good topics or questions. A couple more here, and I'll end it off. If you guys are still in here, thank you so much for coming out and supporting me tonight. I was honestly just wanting to do a 30-minute stream, and then questions kept rolling in. I can't leave you guys hanging, so I appreciate it. PFF is trash. Trust me, I know. I wouldn't say it's trash, man. They base everything off of stats. I mean, if you're saying PFF is trash, then what do you think about ESPN? Yeah, they go off stats sometimes, but most of the time it's just off the top of the head, and they say whatever the hell they want to say. You know what I mean? PFF, I think they're actually trying to do analytical numbers. At least that's what I think it is. Am I wrong? I thought it was only analytical numbers, so. Joe Burrow is expected to be on a whole nother level than what Dalton was. And Green balled out, and Boyd balled out with him. Just imagine a better QB with the young, healthy Green. We do have a young, healthy Green, Adrian. His name is T. Higgins. Yep. We got his little brother, his mini-me. We got him. So I do believe he's looking up to him. But yeah, man. I mean, you can't lie. The run that Andy Dalton and AJ Green went on was good. 5 straight playoff appearances. Some quarterbacks don't even get to see the playoffs, with a duo for the same player for that many years. So I mean, they had their run. You know what I mean? And we'll just see if he can finish it off with Joe Burrow. If AJ Green will retire as a Bengal, and how long he will play. Like I'll be talking about in my video when I touch on the AJ Green situation a little bit. He stated many times he wants to retire as a Bengal, but here we are talking. It's still in contract extension talks. So Bob said, "I don't want to go to work tomorrow." Me too, man. I work tomorrow too. That's why I got to get off here soon. I work tomorrow too. ESPN's actually good. ESPN's good. I mean, I watch ESPN, but there's some guys that take some pretty awful takes. But I mean, everybody has a bad take, Everyone has their good takes, their bad takes, and their hot takes. That's just what media is nowadays. And no matter what team you like, no matter who you have as fans, no matter who doesn't like you, you will always have a take that somebody will disagree with you on. Even as a Bengals fan or a Bengals, YouTuber, I still have people who disagree with me. That's just what it is. Like my John Ross video, there were still people in the comment section saying that I was ignorant and didn't have any idea what I was talking about. That's just media and takes. You're going to get that. But as a media person, you have to be mature enough to take criticism and, realize that people are going to have other views and other takes than what you believe. Because not everyone thinks the same. And if everyone did think the same, media and sports would be so boring. So, yeah, Adrian, I agree. AJ Green has proven himself. No and ifs or buts. But I can't wait for T. Atkins and Storer. I totally agree with that, man. ESPN's hard for me to watch or pay attention to be honest. Look, ESPN has their ups and their downs. I wouldn't mind working for ESPN one day. But, like I said, there's people with good takes and people with bad takes, and everyone has their moments. So that's just media. And media, like I said, like I was just saying, media, every single person has their own takes and their own beliefs, and that's just what it is. It is what it is. But at the same time, that's good because you don't want everyone to think the same, because then medium would be boring. Sports would be boring. But that's what builds a fan base. You know what I mean? Trying to find that we all have in common and what we all like about the team, what we all think the team needs to improve on, who's our favorite players. That's how organizations in NFL is really built upon. But I'm probably going to end the stream here, guys. It is getting late. I have work in the morning, and I got to work on the video tomorrow too, because I always do the video and the day in advance. So good night, Bob. Have a good night. Thanks for joining the stream, man, and being as active as you are. I really, really appreciate, you guys being active in the stream, because if you guys weren't active, I wouldn't even stream. I would just do 2 videos. And before I even started streaming, I was just going to do 2 videos a week. And I was like, hey, let me dive into streaming a little bit, see if you can help me grow. And you guys are what is keeping me from doing it, or keeping me keep doing it. So I appreciate you guys. So Adrian said, well, I'm getting off now. It sounds like everyone's getting off, answering all this. Not many Bengals creators know what they're doing, but you anyway, appreciate your time and good night. Road to 1K. I'll leave it off here, guys. Everyone have a good night. Make sure you stay tuned for Tuesday at noon. Make sure you put on those notifications. I'll see you guys in the premiere. Join me in the premiere at noon if you guys get a chance Tuesday. I don't know if I'll do another stream. Maybe. We'll see. I have work tomorrow, so I'll be pretty busy, and I'm getting ready for vacation. But everybody have a good night. Hooday. I love you guys. Stay safe and have a good week, all right? Start the week off strong tomorrow. Hooday, guys.